Oh, the next handsome face on the show, Mr. Dean Evans, Executive Vice President at Cars. Maybe the coolest photo of the day in the backdrop. We're going to see what we need to do to rate these, because I always let somebody know, you kind of won the backdrop competition today. I think it's really appropriate. You're a very creative person, former CMO of Hyundai. You think about people, you think about how they perceive. Thanks for being a part of the show. And also, I just want to thank Cars for supporting the event and supporting Feeding America. It's a really great thing.
Yes, no, thank you. We support all that, and we support what you're doing too, Paul. So thanks for being out on point and helping facilitate all this. It's really great. Thank you.
It's really my pleasure. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. It's a hot take, so we want to make sure people get the hot take. So when I ask you what topic you want to talk about, you're like, it's time to get back to selling more effectively, more efficiently. What do you mean by that?
Wait a minute. This isn't hot dating?
No, sorry, wrong one.
Wrong. Am I in the wrong channel?
Wrong Zoom channel.
No, hot take. I got it. No, thank you. And thanks everyone for being on here with us too. One of the things I first of all just want to kick off and say, Mr. Riker, he does such a good job. And first of all, I think he's doing a spectacular job, but more importantly, I think everybody is doing a spectacular job. Part of what I want to talk about here is the phenomenal work I think that everyone has done in transforming their businesses at such a transformable rate and speed. And so really, I've coined a new kind of strategy that I think is really important, that I started when I came here at Cars, but I think it's accelerated ever since. And that is this concept of bottom-up performance-based marketing. And it's what it is. It's starting from a priority of how many cars do you need to sell, whether you're Subaru, whether you're Hyundai, whether you're a big dealer group. And then how do you build performance-based marketing tactics to get to that point? And there's plenty of them. In-market video, which I'll talk about in a minute, but paid search. There's all these things you can do to make sure you get to that bogey. Mm-hmm. And that's all bottoms-up performance-based marketing is. And I say that because there's a lot of ways to go to market. For example, there's what I call the share of voice war way you can go to market, which there is a lot of componentry in the industry that says, look, if you have to sell so many cars, your share of voice on this thing called linear television has to be so great. Well, the reality is that has caused a lot of inefficiencies in the marketplace. And I think now with the coronavirus, there are moments and times like that where it's forcing a media switch, a media change. And that's really what is in front of us today, because now you can do bottoms up performance-based marketing at even better scale, and do it with sight, sound, and motion, for example, and not with just something like a click ad or a display ad. And so that's really what we're talking about, what I'm talking about these days, to really help guys have confidence to get back and going.
So what you're saying is, instead of saying, let me see how many I can sell, start by saying, I need to sell this many.
Yes, and how many actions, how many leads, phone calls, what I call high value actions, do you need to generate to make that number? And you learn over time, how many HVAs does it take to get to the boom sale? Is it 20 VDPs? Is it 3 form leads? Is it 2 phone calls? I mean, it all comes in different combinations today because consumers can contact us in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And so you just have to focus on all them, how many you need. And right now, here's an example with digital retailing being so important for consumers, and so many consumers are using that channel. Well, that's really basically a form lead coming through. Well, form leads have gone way up, and we thought form leads were dead for a minute,
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
so
we did.
The point is, they're just kind of all important. You just want to generate enough of them so you know you can make your sale. And then everyone in the organization, they sell with more confidence. There's not so much anxiety in the sale because marketing and the demand is generating enough so the salespeople have enough to convert, and the owner is happy with the business. And it works for big or small that way.
One of the things that is unique about the Cars organization is you just have an insane amount of organic first-party traffic and data. You just said that forms are kind of like making a comeback. What other things are you seeing, really from the front lines that you think we should be paying attention to?
Yes, I think the really great news is the business is back. I mean, consumers, we see it in our shopping data. You know, I've got all these slides all the time now that are up, and to the right, which is lovely, whether it's site traffic, you know, whether it's form lead volume, back to our wonderful customers. That is now at highest levels on a daily rate than we even had before coronavirus. So people are coming back. That's one thing. Number two, we have something called badging, home delivery badging. And over the course of 30 days, we had 8,000 dealers say, look, we're ready for this and we're ready for home delivery. That was that moment in time where people really went, wow, I need this kind of service. And our retail network really jumped to that within days and weeks of making that switch or making that, let's say, a customer experience improvement.
So on the front line, just being able to say like, hey, we're ready to do business contactless. We're ready to do business, you know, without you coming in.
Yes.
I mean, the traffic coming up obviously is something that we're getting excited about, and you see the leading edge indicator of that because you have that first party data. I know I want to talk about a few other things you mentioned earlier. You mentioned video, right? You have some really specific integrations of video, and I know you're heading a lot of that up. Tell us about how that's working and kind of what the overarching philosophy is by leaning into this.
Yes, it's very timely now. I mean, especially now, if you think about the amount of time people are spending and how they're getting their content, you know, 57% increase from March to April on streaming services. That's a lot more content. That's a lot more eyeballs going there.
So 57% just between March and April?
Just between March and April. And I know we all got it sent home, and that explains it, ta-da. And will that be like that forever? No. But I do punctuate the point that people now have went to streaming services.
We've changed habits.
TV.
Right, habits have changed. That's it.
A lot. And this just jump-started or even made those like a hockey stick even more dramatic. Less people on linear, more people content on their time. And that's really what Fuel video at Cars is all about. And all we've done is take best-in-class audience, because we believe, again, in that bottoms-up performance-based marketing, why not start putting your first marketing dollar where the people are already? That's step number one. That's why you put inventory in a marketplace. It's why you put your dealership in an auto mall if you're a metro area. It's the same concept. Go where the fish are. All we're saying now today is you have the ability now, knowing who they are, don't just passively wait for the consumer to find you on the website. Why don't you go after them? You know they're actively shopping. 75% say they're open to the dealer and the maker model yet. So it's that sweet spot. So we bring the first time that a dealer can access Pure. Now, you can buy audiences. Oracle's been selling audiences for 15 years. You can go to Oracle today and give me all the automotive buyers in the United States that are looking for a car, and they'll give you like, I don't know, over 100 million. Okay, there's not 100 million people really shopping right now.
Right, that's the truth.
And the point is you're going to have to, and you can send videos to them all day long, and I'm saying that that'll probably work. I'm just saying it'll work better if you're only doing it in front of people really shopping. And that's really what Fuel is all about. And that's what our huge value proposition is at this moment of time, because video and Pure have never met before. And
that makes all the sense in the world. That makes all the sense in the world. Well, Dean, it was a hot take. It's fast. We got the info. We're going to make sure everyone knows what that is and you know, the details about what you were talking about. It's good to spend a few minutes with you as usual. Look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Thank you,
my friend.